Welcome to Sea Eagles TV Episode 2. Unfortunately, things aren't getting any better for the Sea Eagles Premier Grade. My name's John Devine. Joining me is Chris Lloyd. Mate, you guys headed north looking for your first win. It wasn't to be.
Unfortunately, no. We just probably bowlers missed on their lengths a little bit, and the batsmen didn't build those innings. Probably apart from our skipper, so a lot of things to improve on.
A couple of changes you made to the side as well. Ali McDermott came back into the side. A couple of players dropped back to second grade.
Yep. So it was good having Ali back in there. I mean, obviously he spent a lot of time in the Queensland setup and the Sydney Thunder, and so it was good having experience in the team, and he bowled pretty well as well.
All right. So his spot's safe.
For now.
Okay. So there you go, the pressure's on. Mate, obviously they went into bat, they won the toss. Nathan Rabnott, he's still the skipper?
He is still the skipper.
And the tosser?
Unfortunately, yes.
Alright, so none from two so far?
None from two, but young Gertz said he should have called heads, and he didn't listen to him, so maybe in the future you might listen to the younger blokes.
Alright, so they're probably some of the best tossers around, so they have a fair idea of what to do and what to call. Obviously, so you had to go out there and try and chase down that total, and the wheels fell off early. Cameron Trask opened the batting because of a bit of a niggling injury.
He did, yeah, he pulled his hammy, so the sniper did well. 2 kills that day, myself and Trasky. So Cam went out there early to sort of try and get sort of quick runs on the board, and it unfortunately didn't pay off.
Yeah, not a great start, but Nathan Rabnott showed his class along with Flowey.
Yeah, time and time again, Nath is unbelievable batting at the moment. He's just sort of getting runs for fun. 71 I think he got, and he sort of timed his innings pretty well until he got out.
We got our own Michael Bevan and yourself, red ink, mate. You carried the bat, didn't think about the team, just yourself to get that average up.
Yeah,
which is now what?
I believe it's now 1. So yeah, if you one, unfortunately. But
anyways,
plenty of room for it. Exactly.
All right, none from two, obviously going up there now. The second grade side, they started their season last week, and we'll come to that shortly. Not a great start to their season. A couple of players dropped back, Finnemore and Wheel, I think it were 2 of those players.
Yeah, so from all reports, they bowled really well, but they strengthened the lineup with a bit more experience too.
So my question to you is, mate, do we need quick bowlers with the decks they're rolling out here? Have you come this close actually? The Doosra, the flipper, the one that goes from the back of the head or whatever, all that sort of stuff?
I'm actually lucky enough I bowl as fast as a spinner, so it sort of pays off a little bit more for me rather than the quicker blokes like Ali and Trasky.
All right, yeah, well, no, you can let them go all right, you just got to get the right end, and that means you've got to bribe the skipper. Okay, second grade, we're going to talk about that after this break here as we go to some of our fantastic sponsors here at Sea Eagles TV. We'll be back shortly. And welcome back to the second part of our program as we talk about second grade. They were at home last weekend as you blokes were up at the sunny coast. You didn't spot me out there on the water, did you? My cousin Migaloo?
No, I actually saw a really good tan bloke out there, so I thought it was you.
No, mate, no, I haven't got the George Hamilton look, and you're probably too young to remember who George Hamilton is. Second grade, their first game, they were at home last weekend against the Sunshine Coast. Lost the toss, I'm guessing, and I'd imagine the Sunshine Coast went in and had a bit of a bat, and they did well. The Sea Eagles, that is, restricted them about 220, 230?
Yeah, exactly. So they would have had Sean Finnemore dropping down from ones, and he is a really, really good bowler. So him and Connor Wheel, I think Connor had a really good game, and he was sort of restricting the guys, their sort of batsmen. So a lot of good bowling down in second grade.
Now that was an unforced relegation for Finnemore, but with Alison McDermott going up there, obviously you're going to make way for your Bulls player. So yep. I'm sure as a team man, Finny wouldn't mind too much there, but he gave his best. I have seen the footage of that, and we'll show you some of that. We'll talk to Connor Wheel shortly. The depth in the club tested now with a couple of injuries, mate?
Yeah, it will be, but that sort of helps the club out in the long run, really. So you're going to blood a lot of younger blokes that might not be 100% ready for the grade, but sort of trial by fire, isn't it? Sort of sink or swim stuff, which is going to help them in the long run.
Any initiations for anybody who makes their first grade debut, mate? Is there any anything to do with
what happens,
string and a brick or anything like that?
Well, what happens in the shed stays in the sheds, but the guys don't get off, so it's not too bad.
All right,
They're all right.
Very good. All right, well, after the break, we're going to talk to Connor Wheel, the man in question, who played first grade last week, played second grade last weekend. We'll get Connor's feel on what happened out in the middle of Bill Aubrey last Saturday. Connor Wheel from second grade, mate. Welcome to Eagles TV, buddy.
Cheers.
Hey, last week, a first grade debut here at Bill Aubrey. Not a great result. How'd you feel running out there on the main oval first game?
Oh look, it was great fun, to be honest. Even though the result didn't really go our way, it was great to get out there, great to experience a bit of first grade.
Any chance the groundsman will probably give us fast bowlers some decent wickets to bowl?
Oh, the wicket was actually pretty good, I thought. Like, it had some good carry through, and I always prefer a deck where there's something for you if you hit the deck hard. It shouldn't just be like a green seamer for everyone, I don't reckon. I thought it was quite a good deck.
Michael Nessa, bit of a hard challenge, mate.
A bit of a baptism by fire, I thought. No, he's a quality player.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's always a good challenge to come up against someone like that early in your career.
All right, and then you had the luxury of not travelling again at home last weekend against South Brisbane. Obviously, losing the toss, they went into bat. You restricted a pretty good total. Yeah,
I thought our bowling attack bowled really well, especially through the middle overs, kind of brought it back. We just managed to keep pegging them back and taking consistent wickets and restricted them what we thought was a pretty decent total to try and chase.
Yeah, and they restricted you really well.
Yes, they did. They bowled really well through their middle overs. We kind of just lost our momentum a bit, and I think there was a bit of panic, but apart from that, yeah.
What did we learn from last weekend, mate?
Last weekend, I think the biggest thing was that we've just got to back ourselves at the end of the day. Even if we lose one or two quick wickets, we know we've got the depth to rebuild and get back in there and fight it out right to the end.
A couple of players injured in first grade. I don't know whether you know that or not yet. You may find yourself back onto first grade. First and second played before?
Well, they're usually a pretty strong team, I think, but we've just got to put our best foot forward out on the park, and I know our best game will be good enough.
Okay, Sea Eagles, mate. How did you end up winning Manly, mate?
I was playing over at Sandgate Redcliffe for the last 4 or 5 seasons, and just towards the end of my time there was not really much of a progression for me.
Yep.
So I put out a couple of feelers, and Graham Mapry got back to me and said, "I'd love to have you down here." I came down and just kind of fell in love with the atmosphere. It's a great place to play cricket, and yeah, I'm very happy with my choice.
Not many people say no to Graham Mapry, as you could probably tell by the shallow graves that litter the outside of Bill Aubrey Oval, so those who have said no are underneath those piles of dirt. But yeah, it is a good club down here at Sea Eagles. Mate, look forward to seeing what more Connor Wheel can do, mate. Batting, you probably, how's that looking?
Oh, my batting kind of follows the mentality of see the ball and try and hit it. So,
well, Glenn McGrath, you going to try and work on your batting once you got your bowling up to speed, or eventually?
I always try and work on my batting a little bit, and I always find if you can contribute a few cheeky runs down at the bottom of the innings, it can help with a bit of momentum going into your bowling as well. So,
my co-host Chris Lloyd, mate, if you get back into first grade, you'd have to bat in front of him, wouldn't you?
No, I think
really?
I think he's got me covered.
I don't know about that.
I think he was batting in single digits, I think, in the first game.
His average this year's 1. Only because you got a red ink last week, so you got a chance, mate. And him and the skipper don't get on.
Oh,
so you'll be right.
All right.
Connor Wheel's been a blast talking to you, buddy.
Cheers.
Great. Thank you.
I'm here at Brisbane's biggest auto arena with over 600 cars on one huge location just off the Gateway. Family owned with Holden, Hyundai, Mitsubishi and Subaru. Buy better, buy Barton.
All right, Connor Wheel there, mate. Yeah, he's a young fella who's plying his trade, so he's got a long way to go.
No, definitely. He sort of came across from Sandgate, I think, because they sort of weren't picking him sort of in a grade where he probably should be playing, and he's done really well while he's come across to Wynnum and getting the just rewards.
What's his batting like, mate?
Like any tail ender, he'll say he's good, but we know differently. So he hasn't been peppered with short balls in the net. So I think that's a sort of a way that we might be able to get him. But
you got anybody fast enough to bowl short balls?
Oh, night time with the white ball. That's how it is.
There you go. What do you reckon? Chick maker?
I think so. Maybe on the slide, comes across all nice, and you know, there's a good listener, a really good listener, and a gentle man.
Find that very hard to believe. Well, this weekend, well, not this week, I was going to say 1st of October, the women's competition starts, the Jody Field Shield, so that with a mouthful of marbles. Esther Ronde joins me, October 9, 2016. You entered the cricket scene. What led you to do that?
I've loved cricket all my life, actually. Ever since I was a little girl, I've always wanted to play cricket. But back then the pathway wasn't quite there for the girls, and plus my parents didn't let me. So yeah, I've always wanted to play, and when my kids, 2 boys, they started when they were 10 years old, and I thought, look, I'll give it a crack. So I did last year, and I'm loving it. Yeah.
What did you play at school on that?
Oh, look, I was a tomboy.
Yep.
So I played anything.
Gridiron, footy.
Well, no, not quite. Yeah, but I originally come from Melbourne, so it's AFL territory down there. So anything but softball and netball.
Okay.
All the boys.
UFC?
Boys. Pardon?
UFC?
No, I won't try that one.
Karate? No, none of those yet.
No,
I'm pretty sure you'd be a bit dangerous anyway with some sort of nunchucks in your hands. But obviously you left the third world and came up to Queensland. How long ago did that?
When I got married, actually, so that'd be 25 years ago.
25 years ago. Okay, so now you're October 9, you played cricket. Why Winner Manly? You live nowhere near there.
No, I live up what?
Yep.
Look, I guess because the boys were there, and also because the opportunity was there.
Yep.
There was no real there weren't many choices. So Mappers actually asked me, and he says, look, would you like to come on board? And so,
no one says no to Mappers.
No, that's correct.
I say, we've got a death wish.
I'll try one day, we'll see how we go.
Don't do it. I've tried it myself. I ended up next to a shallow grave. Hey, then this is obviously October 9. You played up until January.
Yes.
Let's see, batting average, 5.71.
I'm a rookie.
Bowling, you've got 4 wickets so far.
Oh, yeah, look, I'm a beginner, I'm a rookie, but I'm loving it, and I guess what I've lacked maybe in skill and that I've made it up in passion and 100%.
But that all follows on from passion and all that sort of side. So you've got 10 other players on your side, okay, or 11 at a time.
Yes.
Okay, is there somebody you'd rather not stand next to in the slips?
No.
Really?
No, everyone's good. Yeah.
I'm starting to shake. This is a lie detector test.
No, we're a good bunch.
You're a good bunch?
Yeah.
All right, now obviously the summer's coming up here, and today, where it's the end of sort of winter, 30 degrees.
Yes.
The heat didn't worry you last year?
No, actually.
Away from the phone, away from the kids?
I did quite well, actually, yeah, but I've been working on my fitness as well, because I knew that if I was to play, a whole day of cricket, for my age, I would have had to get a bit of fitness up.
I have to delete that bit.
Pardon?
I have to delete that bit.
Well, yeah. So I think that's really helped me, actually.
All right. And it is a peace of mind, isn't it? Because you, with 10 other players as well, so you enjoy yourself. The outside world doesn't come into it until you get in the car. Yeah.
It's my escape. And yeah, it's just something I just love doing. I love training for it. Yeah. I wish I could train more, but...
Said no one ever.
And everything. Yeah.
Okay, so do you have any superstitions when you're putting the pads on?
No.
Okay.
But that may eventuate.
All right.
Eventually, maybe.
And where do you prefer to bat? Who's the skipper? So they're listening to this.
Look, I prefer to bat lower down. Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Don Bradman wasn't very tall. Pat Rafter wasn't very tall. Brian Lara's not very tall. I can see you number 3.
Oh, no.
Not at all? All right.
But you never know.
Preferences, batting or bowling?
Bowling, actually.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, you got a
And I love fielding, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. I just wish I could dive. I've told the boys I've got to learn how to dive.
Juniors, well, I was caught up with a couple of the young Sea Eagles last week. Those boys out training. They're like fire ants out there, mate. There's millions of them.
Loads of them. They just don't go away. They love it too much, which is good.
Actually, I do believe Plovers actually scared of the children themselves now because there's so many of them out there. But it's great now. You're obviously a junior.
Yeah, so I played my junior cricket with the Rochdale Vipers. So striking fear into the hearts of all sub-district cricketers.
I think a little bit just came out there. That's very scary indeed. All right, well, the juniors, we know how much they are an important part of the club. Obviously, the legacy with the families coming down here and training. And there's lots of mums and dads are out here on training as well during the week, which is great to see.
Exactly.
Do you see a few of the boys on the weekends? Do they come around and watch the first graders?
Yeah, we've got a couple of young guys coming around, and young Ollie sort of runs water for us and helps Graham out a little bit. So a couple of getting a bigger crowd now, which is really good.
And autographs, mate, do you pack a crayon just in case somebody asks for a bit of a scribble on their McDonald's colouring in calendar book?
Every now and again, but the crayon's more for me for colouring in. I believe I've only had to sign one thing, and that was last year for the Legends match, so I don't think I'll be getting too much of that.
And nobody does a cross like you do, mate. Well, all right, here's a couple of boys anyway from training that I caught up with during the week.
Okay, so I'm here with two of the Ray Weir Wynnum Red players, the victorious team from Sunday. The only Wynnum team at this stage to have a victory. Jackson Monley, the opening bowler, and Cayman Poole, the wicketkeeper. So, boys, Jackson, how do you think you went on Sunday? Did you enjoy it?
Yes, I did. I think I could have done a bit better with my bowling.
So what were your figures on Sunday, do you remember?
9 for 16 off 6 overs.
It's a pretty handy start. Yeah. So these are two more talkative members of the team. What about you, Cayman? How'd you go? Did you enjoy your first game?
Yeah, I went okay. I didn't do much, but had a kick.
So really enjoyed the team victory?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. And so Jackson, tell us about your pathway. So where have you come from? Where did you start your career?
I started at Milo Cricket, and then I played for Holland Park. I've played for EDJC, I've played for Medis, and now I'm playing for Wynnum.
Oh, that's great, mate. So you enjoying your first season with the Sea Eagles?
Yes.
Oh, that's great. What about you, Cayman? What's about your pathway?
I pretty much just played for Wynnum, and then I played for school for the last couple of years.
Yeah. And so what are you boys hoping to go to this season? Jackson, what are your goals? Do you want to
bowl less extras and get more wickets.
Did that come from your coach, or did that...
No, from me.
That's very good, mate. What about you, Cayman? What's your goal?
Just to improve on my keeping and my batting, I guess.
Oh, that's really good. So Gold Coast this week, boys. Probably be a bit of a tougher test. Looking forward to that, Jackson?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, so what's your plan to bowl on the weekend?
On the offside most of the time.
Pick up a few wickets, you think, this week? Yeah. What about you, Cayman? You'll get the game off?
Yeah, I'll just chill out, I guess.
Yeah, you got an injury you've done at school?
Yeah, I hurt my thumb.
Okay, right. That looks pretty serious. Maybe a couple of weeks. All right, boys. Well, thanks for your time, and good luck on Sunday. Have another second win for the Ray Weir Red team.
Thank you.
All right, there's another wrap for another week. Episode 2 done and dusted and put away, mate. This weekend, the Sea Eagles, where will you be this weekend? Where are the boys headed?
We're going to, I believe we're playing against Souths and Norths. I think the first game's obviously out South, and then North's the second one.
Well, actually, it's a scoop. You guys are playing here this weekend.
Oh, okay.
South's ground is not up to scratch, so if you want to get down here, first and second grade will be playing down here at Wynnum Manly at the Gull's Nest down here, so get on down and watch the first graders and second graders. Mate, don't they show you early?
No, they don't, just a bit of a mushroom, really.
Well, don't worry, I love my fungus as well, so anyway. So we'll be back next week. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, share this with all your friends and family, and get as many likes on here, and so we can just build this show. It's going to get bigger and bigger as more teams come into the competition. I think the Lord Tab start on the Sunday.
Yes, so they start looking to continue on with their sort of winning form over the last couple of years. So
they'll be back again. They're on Sunday, so get it down here Saturday. So they come down here and you can play pin the bottle opener on Graham Mapper. It's a fantastic game, one for the whole family playing. We'll be back again next week. Does he use the bottle opener, Mappers, or just the ice?
Just teeth, like his dad, sort of the chomper. Yeah.
Is he out yet?
No, not yet, thankfully.
Right.